So for over 100 years, we have a 100-year diagnostic history of gender dysphoria, and we know what this condition is. It's the severe discomfort in one's biological sex, and it always overwhelmingly afflicted males, and it began in early childhood, ages 2 to 4. But in the last decade, for the first time, we were seeing large numbers of young women with no childhood history of gender dysphoria deciding they had discomfort in their bodies and wanting to change their physical appearance through hormones and surgeries. This didn't look like gender dysphoria at all. It didn't begin in early childhood and was predominating among young women. And the strangest thing of all, it was exploding in friend groups. Lisa Littman, the public health researcher who did the original scientific research on this, found that there was a 70 times greater prevalence rate among friend groups, meaning you were 70 times more likely to announce a transgender identity if you were a part of one of these, if you were part of a friend group in which other kids had done that as well. These were numbers that all pointed to the idea of social contagion. These were indicators that all pointed to the idea that this wasn't so much organic gender dysphoria as we had always known it, but a kind of social contagion, which means young people encouraging each other in an idea that there was something wrong with them, and they had this particular idea wasn't that they were so fat, because we know that anorexia spreads this way as well, or bulimia, which also does, but in fact this idea was I'm in the wrong body and I need to change.
Isn't it true that if women who have this dysphoria just don't do anything, that some large percentage of them become comfortable being female eventually?
Yes. So there have been several studies on this, many studies on this now, and they range the number of those who have gender dysphoria in their youth who then outgrow it, if left alone, range somewhere between 68% and much, much higher, 85%, 90% outgrow it on their own. Now that's when we were leaving these kids alone. We're not doing that today. Today, the second a girl feels that she's not feminine or she's not perfectly female, whatever that means, she is sure to have a teacher, a counselor, somebody tell her, a therapist tell her, maybe your problem is gender. Maybe you're really supposed to be a boy. Now, with girls who identify as transgender, we're seeing very high rates of going on to hormones and surgeries and whatnot. But if left alone, most of these kids were just outgrowing it.